Hey, how's everyone doing? We got some really nice rocks to share with you today. Let's start right over here with the scary skull. When you look at this, it's missing the top of the head, but you can see it's shaped like a skull. There's an eye there. It's missing the second eye, but you can see there's a mouth that's carved right here, and there's an indent right here for the nose. And it's shaped on the sides like it's a skull. I know it's really faint, but it does resemble a skull. Now this rock, when you look at it, I think it's a Puritan. It's a female Puritan wearing a bonnet again. When you look at it, you can see an eye, there's a nose, and then there's a mouth right in there. And you can see it all right on the angle when you turn it just like that. You can see the nose, no problem. But she's wearing a bonnet. That's her whole head. That's just the profile of her face. Okay. And if you disagree, that's okay. Now here's a rock. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. It's like a little wedge, like an orange wedge when you peel an orange. But here's the top of the head. It comes to a really sharp point. Here's the eye, the nose. Look at the mouth. And then the chin. That's an incredible cut on that rock. Now this rock here is super smooth, and it's a white rock on the bottom, and on the very top it's a black rock. And it's super smooth all the way around. And this rock resembles a head. Now there's a couple faces on this rock. There's an eye right there, and there's an eye right there. And then there's a little mouth right there cut out, and here's the big nose. And you can see, and so that's the top of his head. That's his hair. It's his forehead. There's an eye, another eye, and his nose. There's his mouth, and there's a spot of white paint there. Is that to represent an ear? You can see the mouth is carved right there. There's a little hole right there carved out. And then when I turn the rock on the side, another face develops. There's an eye right there. There's an eye right there. And you can see the nose right here. There's two lines cut out right there. That's supposed to be the nostrils. And then here's the mouth and the chin right through here. So you have a face on this side when you look at it. And then when you flip it around this side, there's another face. Really nice. And it's so smooth. I can't tell you how smooth. Now this looks like a memorial rock. It's somebody's head. That's somebody's face carved right on a rock, and it's a 3D rock. It's unlike most of the others where they're just a half a rock and only carved on one side. This is actually on all sides, sort of like the infant rocks that I showed you on a previous video. I think this rock here was a memorial rock that was given to some bride who lost her husband. I don't know, that's my opinion. It's so smooth, it's so soft, it's so polished, it's unbelievable. Now this last rock is unbelievable. There's faces all over this rock. Let's start right here with this side. Now, that's a Native American. On the very top, that's a Mohawk. There's an eye, a nose, a chin. That's a Native American right there with a Mohawk. And then when I turn it around just a little bit, it still has the Mohawk here. Here's an eye, and here's a nose and a mouth. So there's a top face right there. But then when you just look at it from the bottom and kind of just you pretend that this eye that you saw in the first face is part of a forehead. There's your Mohawk. Here's a forehead. There's another eye, and here's the mouth, the nose and a mouth right there, and a chin. So there's a face on this side of the rock. Here's a face on this side of the rock, both wearing the Mohawk. I flip that rock around. Now on the very top, here's a forehead, is a big nose, a big cheekbone right here, and here's an open mouth. The figure's looking up with an open mouth. That's a face on the top, but then that becomes a Mohawk and not a nose. That's an eye, and then that's a mouth right there. Look at, that's a side of a skull right there. And you can see how it's built out or cut out right here for definition for the side of a skull. That is incredible. Look at the chin, right? Okay, and then one more time I'm going to flip the rock. When I hold it like this, there's a Mohawk right here. Here's the side of a face. There's an eye, the nose, the chin. That's a Native American warrior right there with a Mohawk. If you guys have ever seen Indian Head Mountain up in New Hampshire, there's a profile cut in the side of a mountain that looks just like that. Indian Head Mountain in New Hampshire. It actually has a Native American name. I'm not I forget it right now, but you look up Indian Head Mountain in New Hampshire, you'll see pictures of that. But that's a really cool rock, and it's almost white with stripes of yellow going through it. Really cool stuff. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.